Sister Wives cast member Kody Brown only has one wife left, Robin Brown. Christine, Janelle, and Meri all finalized their divorces and jumped ship from the polygamous marriage a few years ago. But one of his exes is under fire for keeping his last name. Why hasn't Meri Brown went back to her maiden name Barber since leaving her ex Kody? Keep reading to find out what the Sister Wives star had to say about keeping her last name. Possible TV spoilers down below. Why won't Meri drop the Brown? On a recent episode of the I Do Part 2 podcast, Meri acknowledged that it was odd she still went by the last name Brown. The TLC star laughed off the comments she has received about keeping Kody's name and stated, "There's a lot of R's in it and it's really hard to say. Brown is a hell of a lot easier." Ironically, there is only one more R in her name if she switches back to Barber. Meri Brown has always been accused of using her notoriety on Sister Wives, of promoting her clothing sales with LuLaRoe and other various MLM ventures over the years. And that's most likely the real reason she won't change her last name. Critics have speculated that the real reason Meri won't change her last name is because it would hurt the persona she has built on reality TV over the years. Nobody knows who the hell Meri Barber is, but Meri Brown rings bells. If Meri changes her last name, it could hurt her bed and breakfast business among other endeavors. Sister Wives. Is Meri hung up on Kody? Still, do you think it's strange that Meri is still using Kody Brown's last name since she insists that she is over her polygamous marriage? Is she still holding on to Kody, or just trying to keep her bank account afloat? Share your thoughts down below in the comments. And keep checking back here on Soap Opera Spy for more Sister Wives news and updates. In the sprawling, often painful saga of the Brown family, the dust has begun to settle on a new and unfamiliar landscape. The patriarch Kody Brown now stands with only one wife by his side, Robin, the sole survivor of a polygamous structure that once defined him. The departures of Christine, Janelle, and Meri Brown marked not just the end of their spiritual marriages, but the collapse of a reality television empire built on the foundation of plural family life. As each forges a path independent of Kody, the world watches, scrutinizing their every move for signs of healing, growth, or lingering attachment. It is in this atmosphere of intense public interest that a seemingly mundane question has ignited a firestorm of debate among fans. Why, years after her divorce, does Meri Brown still go by the last name of the man who caused her so much pain? The issue resurfaced during a recent episode of the I Do Part 2 podcast, where Meri, now a successful business owner operating Lizzie's Heritage Inn in Parowan, Utah, directly addressed the query. With a characteristic blend of humor and deflection, she acknowledged the strangeness of the situation. "There's a lot of R's in it, and it's really hard to say," she quipped, before adding with a laugh, "Brown is a hell of a lot easier." The joke, referencing her maiden name Barber, was a classic Meriism, a quick, slightly sarcastic response that skirts the deeper emotional core of the issue. However, critics and fans alike were quick to point out the flimsy nature of the excuse. After all, the difference in phonetic complexity between Barber and Brown is negligible, leading many to believe the real reason is far more calculated and rooted in the very industry that made her famous. The prevailing theory is that Meri Brown is not just a name, it's a brand. For over a decade, she was intrinsically linked to the Sister Wives franchise as the first and legal wife of Kody Brown. This identity, for better or worse, comes with a significant amount of brand equity. In the reality television industrial complex, name recognition is currency. It drives social media engagement, fuels business ventures, and maintains a connection to the audience that invested in her story for so many years. This is not a new phenomenon for Meri. During her tenure with the multi-level marketing company LuLaRoe, she was frequently accused of leveraging her sister wives' notoriety to drive clothing sales, a charge that often put her at odds with viewers who felt she was blurring the lines between her personal life and commercial pursuits. Today, that same brand equity is being funneled into her bed and breakfast. Tourists and fans of the show don't just book a room at an inn in Parowan. They book a stay at Meri Brown's Inn. They are buying an experience, a tangible connection to the televised drama they followed for years. The name Meri Brown on a social media post or a business listing instantly signals a familiar story and a known personality. Meri Barber, on the other hand, is a blank slate. As one critic succinctly put it, nobody knows who the hell Meri Barber is. But Meri Brown rings bells. A name change, in this context, could be a self-inflicted wound, potentially harming the very business she has worked so hard to build as a symbol of her independence. Yet, to dismiss the issue as purely transactional is to ignore the profound emotional weight a name carries. For 30 years, Meri Brown was her identity. It was the name she used when she married Kody, the name on her family's leases, the name she answered to for the majority of her adult life. It represents a lifetime of memories, both joyous and painful, a shared history with children and a family that, despite its fracturing, still exists. Letting go of the name Brown would be more than a legal or administrative task. It would be a final, symbolic severance from a past that has defined her. This raises the more poignant question at the heart of the debate. Is her refusal to change her name a savvy business decision, or is it a sign that she is, on some level, still tethered to Kody? On one hand, Meri's actions speak volumes about her desire to move forward. She has physically relocated, creating a new life hundreds of miles away from Kody and Robin. She has cultivated a new tribe of fiercely loyal friends, her warriors who have supported her through the toughest times. She speaks of her newfound peace and independence with a conviction that seems genuine. From this perspective, the name Brown is simply a practical tool, a leftover from a previous chapter that she continues to use for its utility, much like one might keep an old, reliable tool in a toolbox even after buying a new house. On the other hand, the name is the last remaining public link to the family she helped build. While Christine Brown fully embraced a new chapter by becoming Christine Brown Woolley after her marriage to David Woolley, Meri has not. This choice stands in stark contrast and invites speculation. Is she, perhaps subconsciously, holding on to the last piece of her identity as Kody's first wife? Is it a psychological tether to a life she has yet to fully relinquish? The emotional calculus of such a decision is deeply personal and impossible for outsiders to truly comprehend. Ultimately, Meri Brown's choice to keep her last name is a multifaceted issue, sitting at the intersection of modern personal branding and the messy, complicated aftermath of a very public divorce. It is a reminder that for reality stars, the line between person and persona is often blurred, and even a name is never just a name. Whether she is shrewdly protecting her bank account or simply not ready to close the final door on her past, one thing is certain. The debate over her name will continue as long as the public remains invested in the next chapter of her life.